Sparka.com/marketing. Sparka.com/marketing. How to make a living, and a very good living at that, being a blogger. Now, I didn't realize how big a topic this was. I just thought that everyone blogged because it was a way to get new clients, get new attention on their products, on their service. But apparently not. So for those of you who aren't making any money blogging, for instance, I blog and my PR team blogs on topics that they know, so that when people actually read those blogs, they go, oh, here's someone that really knows their stuff, and their stuff happens to be exactly what I need for my company. So let's contact Sparka and give them a job or a project or something. So that's how we use blogging. But in your case, if you're blogging because you love fashion, you're blogging because you love automobiles and aftermarket products, you love sports, you love whatever it is that you're blogging about, and you want more time to do it, more time to go out and get exclusive stories, well, you're going to need funding. You're going to need sponsors. This is how you get those sponsors. It's really, really simple. If you've been involved in any kind of traditional media, maybe you bought ads from a magazine, maybe you bought ads from a newspaper, from a TV show, a cable network, or whatever it is. If you've ever bought ads before, you know that every media publication actually has, guess what? Salespeople. They have salesmen. I don't know if you realize this, but just because you own the New York Times, people don't come flocking to you, not kidding, to pay you to advertise in the New York Times. So why would you expect people, since you've been blogging for 2-3 years, companies, company owners, CEOs, to come flocking to you to advertise on your blog? They don't do that. You actually have to go out and get them. But it's not that hard. I'll give you one as an example. If you're a fashion blogger, contact Fowler's Boutique, Fowlers Boutique. They're in Cardiff, California, Cardiff. They sell high-end men's and women's clothes. It's like, it's high-end clothes, high-end jeans, $200-$300 shirts, that sort of thing. And they're in an upscale part of San Diego on the beach. They need to sponsor fashion bloggers. They need to sponsor bloggers that can help sell their clothes. So if you're a fashion blogger, contact Chris, who's the owner, and then say, hey, why don't you try advertising on my site for a month, and if you like the response, because he's got a website. Oh, and this is another key. If you're a food blogger and you walk up to a regional restaurant that's in San Antonio, Texas, and say, hey, I've got readers from all over the world, including Iran and China, well, it's not going to help them, right? So find companies, actually go through, do the hard work like a salesperson actually would. Be your own salesman. Do the hard work and find people who have e-commerce stores, online stores. That's not that hard to do. All you have to do is do a search in Twitter. I'll give you an example. If you're an automotive aftermarket parts, if you're a blogger that blogs about autos, auto parts or cars, performance automobiles, whatever it is, go into Twitter and just do a Twitter search for sale space Mercedes. You'll find a ton of guys that are on Twitter saying, hey, here's a new sales for Mercedes intake or Mercedes exhaust or a Mercedes suspension kit. You see where I'm going with this? Figure out the syntax, figure out the language that an e-commerce store would use. They would use the words sale, they would use the word discount, they would use the word buy one, get one free. And then use a pronoun or use some kind of noun, throw a noun in there that's actually an anchor word for what they're trying to sell. So I'll give you one more example. If you're let's say you're a food blogger. You blog about restaurants. The trouble with blogging about restaurants, though, is that you're going to need nationwide sponsors. So what you could do is type in pizza shipping, pizza delivery, pizza steak delivery. You know those Omaha steaks that get shipped all over the world, all over the country, and they're frozen, but they're $40 a steak, super expensive, and my mouth is watering just thinking about those Omaha steaks. Again, you see where I'm going. You have an international platform called your blog or your YouTube channel. It's global. So don't limit your mind to think, okay, so I live in, I don't know, let's say you live in Boston, Massachusetts, and I know a couple companies that do plumbing in Boston, Massachusetts, and you've got a blog about home furnishings and home remodeling and architecture. Great. Well, don't go to the plumber in Boston, Massachusetts. Go to the plumber that actually has 50 different locations around the country. They're easy to find. All you have to do is create the right syntax, search syntax for that kind of company. Contact them and say, hey, I'd be more than happy to give you a free month of advertising on my blog. If you like the traffic that you get, let's work together to discuss a marketing campaign so that we can actually get you more customers and clients. That's how you start collecting clients and put them on the hook for $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. You get 10 clients, each paying you $3,000 a month to advertise on your website, $30,000 a month. It's that easy. You just have to be assertive and go out and get them. New York Times has advertising sales reps. If you want to see how pros actually sell ad space in their blog, if you want to see how pros sell ad space in their magazine, in their newspaper, just call up Esquire, call up Men's Health, call up Vogue, and tell them that you want to advertise and see what the salesperson says when they call you back. They will. Every single time you'll get a call back. Figure out what the competition's doing and how they're doing it and adopt their best practices. This applies if you're trying to get a job as an IE or as a FYI. If you're trying to get hired in a company and you've given your resume out to 200 different corporations and you're just not getting a call back and you wonder why and the job market's so competitive, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Don't do that. First thing you do if you're trying to get a job, let's say you're trying to get a job as a writer, technician, programmer, network engineer, whatever it is, put an ad up in Craigslist for the exact job that you want. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but I'm just dragging this out to make a point. Put an ad in Craigslist and say, let's say you're a networking guy, just as an example. Say, Cisco CCNA wanted, must have 5 years experience troubleshooting and deploying large-scale networks for corporations with over 500 users and must be familiar with InfoSec best practices, whatever it is that you would if you saw this ad, would you apply to it? Is the criteria you have to beat, and then write an ad, spend $50. It's worth your $50. That's how much it costs in Craigslist, and put out an ad. Pretty soon, you'll get 500 to 1,000 resumes in your inbox of all the people that you're competing against. Think about that. If you want to know why, even after you've put resumes out to 200-300 different companies, why you're not getting a single phone call back, shouldn't you at least know what competition you're up against? Shouldn't you know what the resumes of your job-seeking competitors look like? Do it. That's how you do if you're a blogger and you want to make blogging a career. Do the same thing. Call ad sales reps from Huffington Post, AOL. AOL owns everything. AOL owns Huffington Post. AOL owns Engadget.com. Call AOL up and tell them that you want to spend $1 million a year with them and see what the sales rep says when they call you back. Take notes, learn from the sales rep, and do the same thing. Speak the same way. Send the same presentations that you got out to people so that you can snag sponsors for your blog. See how that works? If you enjoyed this video, I need a hand. I would love for you to help me out. if you go to sparka.com/SEO, at the very, very top, I'm going to put a link in there to a SEO, my YouTube SEO playlist. Can you do me a favor and take that YouTube playlist link and just blog about it? 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs is all I need. It's just about SEO best practices. And if you could just link to that playlist in your blog post and then tell me that you did it. Just contact me. My email is Journik, JOURNIK @gmail.com, or on Twitter it's @Journik. Contact me and let me know what your blog URL is that you did this on, and I'll do you a favor too. I will help promote your blog. I will help you find sponsors, just as I mentioned Fowler's Boutique in the beginning, and I'll give you one of my premium $300 to $500 videos for free. Just pick. Go to sparka.com/shop and pick whichever video you want. They range from $200 to $500 per video. Pick one, and I'll give it to you for free, just for helping me out and linking to that playlist that you'll find at sparka.com/SEO. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better and teaming up with you.